and a lot of what I do in training is about the state of mind. Okay, it's to not leave a dog in an overstimulated state of mind. It's a very unhealthy place for the dog to be, and that's where he becomes more reactive versus responding to a situation. I want to teach this young 10-month-old German Shepherd how to respond to things because he's had 9 months and 2 weeks of nothing but reactivity. And so now we're going to go out on a walk. This is exciting for me. It's exciting for Dodger. This is the migration. This is, we're kind of fulfilling the instinctual part of Dodger, and that is the walk. We're going to go out on an adventure here. So to start off our adventure, we're not going to go run out the door like a bunch of maniacs. We're going to set the tone. So the first thing I'm going to do is, as soon as I open the door, Dodger comes to investigate. I want to control the space. This is my doorway. This is my threshold. This is my space. Dodger, you cannot leave in front of me. So all I'm going to do is take his leash and I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit and just kind of use spatial pressure. This right here, where I'm moving him back, it's spatial pressure, guys. That's all it is. It's like someone sitting on the park bench next to you. And then when you're ready to go, Dodger, come. Yeah. He's like, you just told me to get away from the door, now you want me back. Okay, but I want him in a calmer state of mind. So now, back. Whoa, that's just, it's like putting on the brakes. Now I can fiddle with the door, grab my keys, grab what I need to, and now we can start the walk properly in the proper state of mind. Do this with every dog, and your dog will now come out and really start to enjoy the walk. Okay. Good job. So just always remember, your goal is to set the tone, guys. Just focus on the state of mind. I want that on the dog. We're going to now go out into the big world, but before we even go out into that big world, we need to set the tone. We did it at the door. Previously, we did that at the crate. Now we're in the driveway. I'm still not out in the real world, so what I'm going to do is tune him up a little bit like we would do with a horse. Before I start the walk, I go up and down my driveway a handful of times and I practice my little crazy man routine. And the crazy man routine is simply this. The side of the dog that we're going to walk on, I'm left-handed, so I want Dodger on the left-hand side of me. I'm going to go up and down this driveway, and I'm just going to do turns. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of telling Dodger, you got to start paying attention to me. Look at where I'm at, buddy, because I need you to heel next to me. All right? And then that way we can do this in a structured fashion. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. It's not about a bunch of corrections, guys. It's kind of like working that little excess energy out of him. We have some distractions over there. We've got traffic. The dog is going to be distracted. He's a 10-month-old puppy. So remember, if we set the tone here, if I leave him all excited, I put the leash on and I go, you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? And I make this big, momentous, overstimulated event. Then what's going to happen is he's going to leave in that state of mind. So now when he goes down the street and he sees the little white dog, he's going to go, hey, let's have a fight. Let's have a conversation. I want him to be relaxed and enjoy the walk. The walk is about the migration. It's not about sniffing, peeing, or pooping. That's what the backyard's for. If you can, unless you're in a community or something like that where that's the only choice, then get a good walk into him first before you allow him to relieve himself, just so he stays focused on what the true purpose is. That's the migration. Let's go, Dodger. So right now my neighbors have this beautiful paint horse that they're just unloading from the trailer right now. okay? These are triggers that a dog is going to see they don't normally see every day. If we allow a dog to run and get engaged with them, it's going to throw an over level of stimulation to the dog. Let's get inside, actually. Come on. Or let's just stay on this side. Here's the reason why. They're loading into dog, and they have dogs outside, so they're dealing with a horse. We have to, and this is actually this is good. So we can continue this on. This isn't the example of an untrained dog. This is an example of me advocating on behalf of the dog. All right, I have a responsibility for this dog's safety. Now, my neighbor's next door unloading a horse, which is a flight animal. It can get stimulated and scared very easily. So another dog that could trigger that horse to rear up and misbehave. They also have dogs in their backyard. Well, if those dogs come out, we could have a potential engagement here. This is all different forms of pressure. Pressure is what's going to trigger this dog to be reactive as opposed to respond. So this is where owners need to advocate on behalf of their dog. This is why a nice structured walk, not giving him a lot of leash, letting him run 10 feet ahead of you, keeping him next to you, is that way he always knows that he's under your thumb, he's under your guidance and your direction, and that you're going to take care of him if there's any problems. You lead it through the navigation of chaos in life, not allow the dog to figure it out on his own, okay? All right. Hey, Eric, I wanted to just point out in that last video something that we were talking about before, and that was, he was like, hey, advocating. What I mean by advocating, when I tell my clients to advocate, or when we tell our clients to advocate on behalf of a dog, is about managing the pressure. Right. Okay, so the dog is getting he's starting to get stimulated and triggered off of some sort of pressure. So in this instance, you and I are this close. He's going, hey, you know, do I need to worry about this? So a lot of times what I'll tell my clients to do is advocate on behalf of the dog. And what that means is that if the dog is starting to trigger or react to a form of pressure, he sees something down the street, he sees a car, truck, whatever the case may be, your dog's going to tell you long before you ever recognize that this could be a possible issue. So one of the things I want you to do, the simplest way to advocate on behalf of the dog, is put yourself in between the pressure and the dog. So in this case, Dodger, our 10-month-old German Shepherd puppy, is walking down the street. He goes, hey, I'm a little triggered by this guy here in the vest. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just pass him behind me. I'll take a step forward, and then I'll hold him back this way, and then I'll deal with the pressure. So I just removed him from the pressure, and I'm advocating on behalf of the dog. So in this case, sit. You and I are talking. Now he's no longer stressed out. We can have a conversation without having to worry about the dog jumping up on us. Right, and for him, I've removed the pressure. And so if that pressure is something where he's still getting more and more reactive, then cross the other side of the street. Get away from it, whatever the case may be. If someone wants to walk up to your dog and say, hey, I love this dog, and I pet your cute dog, and you don't think that he's going to really be responsive to that, advocate on behalf of that dog by simply saying, either A, my dog's not that friendly, or if you really feel comfortable, just say, please don't pet my dog. And don't give that dog that unnecessary pressure, especially when they're younger and they're cute like this. Everybody wants to love on him, all right? But strangers loving on him is going to have a different meaning than what we perceive it. So advocate on behalf of that dog. Make sure he stays in a calm state of mind. And the best way to do it is always just put yourself in between the thing that is causing him the most stress, the form of pressure, and get him as far as you possibly can away from that. If it's a casual encounter like this, simply by shifting him to the other side of you and holding him off is good enough. Another thing that can help kind of exacerbate, and this is something to keep in mind, guys, is when you're walking the dog, we talk about how to properly hold the leash, but a lot of people do this. They take this handle, they slide their hand through it, and then they wrap the leash a couple times around their hands. Now all of a sudden, this leash is nothing more than tension, and the dog feels the tension. So now I walk down the street, I have a foreign stimulus coming up to me, And now the dog wants to react. Why? Because not only has he told me the problem is coming, you need to do something about it, boss, but I'm telling him, hey, we need to be ready because I'm ready. And now my energy is completely different. The dog's going to read that differently, and you could have a possible negative interaction. So always advocate on behalf of the dog. Always keep your eyes out peeled. If you see things that are going to trigger the dog, just put yourself between you and the dog by simply passing the leash off behind you. Get him far enough away from it that's comfortable, and then continue on. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to give us a call. Our number is located on our website at tagscanine.com, and certainly you can check us out on YouTube as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Come on. Let's go. Yeah, good. Whoa. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Say, he's such a good boy. Good boy. All right. Free dog. Free dog. Free dog.